Welcome to Gulfstream today, and welcome to beautiful Gulfstream Park. Acacia Courtney, along with Ron, mandatory payout Nicoletti. I'm changing my name today because we have mandatory payouts throughout the afternoon. Exciting week coming up here at Gulfstream Park. Holiday week, of course. We got the Summit of Speed on Saturday. We'll tell you all about that. But today, mandatory payouts in our Rainbow Six today, which starting $100,000. They received also in the late pick 5 and in the super high 5. It's got to go. So today, no matter how many winners you have, we usually have a 70-30 split in the Rainbow Six. Not today. Everything must go. If you have the most winners, you get the whole thing. If you share it with someone, you share it. So lots of fun. Fast main track, firm turf course.
Yeah, it should be a really fun day. As you mentioned, we have mandatory payout stuff today. Tomorrow is Beat the Expert Day. Saturday, Summit of Speed. 4th of July weekend. It's just like the fun never stops.
Yeah, it's going to be some weekend. This is going to be, we have a 5-day week too, a special holiday week. We'll be back here on Monday on July 4th. But as I said, more about that throughout the afternoon. We got a fast main track today, a firm turf course. Let's show you our wagering menu. We started off with the early pick 5. Acacia will have a ticket to show you in just a couple of moments. The rolling super high 5 starting race number 2 this afternoon. The Rainbow Six. The mandatory payout is in race number 5 with this 10-race card, and both of us will have a ticket we'll show you today, and $102,000 to start the day. That is going to skyrocket. I bet you it's way over $500,000 today when we have the mandatory payouts, and also mandatory payout in the late pick 5, which starts in race number 6. So with all that information, let's get right to the action today. Our first race, 5 furlongs, maiden claim is 2-year-olds, $25,000. One scratch in here on the inside of the One Forest Gator. Let's show your early pick 5 ticket.
Early pick 5 races 1 through 5, $48 for me today. I wasn't able to find a single here. I went 3 deep in the opener, maiden claiming race. You always have a couple horses that you feel like might run pretty well. Thought about singling in one of the race 3 or 5, but decided to go 2 deep. Still very affordable at 48. And don't forget, everything must go.
Everything must go. So not the early pick 5, it has to go no matter what. But throughout the afternoon, it's going to be a lot of fun. How'd you start it off in here?
Well, I went with the number 7, Fearless Media on top, breaking from the outside. Efren Loza Jr., the trainer. Andy Hernandez is going to be in the saddle. The main reason that I picked this one, really closed nicely in his debut. Finished ahead of Bank on John, who's the 2 horse, the other horse that I really liked in this race. Thought finished ahead of him nicely. Ended up finishing second behind a horse named Chataman, beating about 6 lengths, but I thought with that closing ability, ran really nicely.
Yeah, I got a limited stat I want to show you on the horse Fearless Media, and it's about our trainer Efren Loza Jr., who's trained us over the last 5 years. 2-year-olds on the dirt, 2 for 6, very limited sampling, but 100% in the money, 33% and $1.33. Oh, I just thought I'd throw that out there to see that, he's not done it a lot, but when he's done it very well. We have our exactor and trifecta flip-flop. I went with the 4 Pacho in second. Papacho, and you went with the number 2 Bank on John.
I did. As I mentioned, Bank on John was the other one I liked a lot. Finished 3rd, right behind Fearless Media. Last time out. Another one, it showed a little bit of nice closing ability, was gaining steadily. Kathleen O'Connell, the trainer.
Let's go to race 2, 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Non-winners of 3 races in life were 3-year-olds, $10,000. Scratch the main track only participant in here, number 10, My Song Venezuela. And you went with the number 7, Angel of Love, on top of your ticket.
Yeah, and this is the only horse that we both used the same in our top 3, so pretty wide open race here. Angel of Love beaten just by a nose last time out, dropping down in distance now. Is a beaten favorite last 2 out, but I think sets up well today.
Yeah, I went with the number 6 in here. Ansiedad is cutting back to 7.5 furlongs again. Tracked the pace, flattened out when finishing 3rd against this familiar competition, going a mile in the 16th. That was on the softened turf, listed as good. I just thought this horse, I don't know what he is. His 3rd choice on the morning line would be someone that you might want to use on your ticket. Angel of Love for all the reasons you mentioned, and then you also used the number 9, Love Years.
I did. I want to go back and show the last race for Love Years. Ended up finishing 2nd across the wire, but was bumped up to finish 1st through disqualifications, the number 1 there. So you see, just gets bumped around. Patient Digna, who is the 3, drifts and actually drifts a couple times. And you see, they just get really pushed really far out away from the rail. And it ended up being a disqualification of the 3, Patient Digna, who really crossed the wire first. Love Yours ended up finishing as the winner that day. So I think off of that performance, it was a very strong performance, likes this distance.
Yeah, and I mean, a logical choice on there is actually 4th Choice in the Morning Line, a pretty good price. Closed it out with the 4, Miss Conte. You went to the inside with number 1, Devious Maddie.
Devious Maddie looks to be the speed.
Speed in that race. Let's go right to race number 3 this afternoon. This one, 1 mile and 1/16, maiden special weight, 3-year-olds and upward. A couple of jockey changes in here on the 2. Make the rider Marcos Menendez, and on the number 5 horse, the rider is Jose Caraballo, and we went both with the number 3, Time Will Tell.
This one, a $140,000 son of Malibu Moon, stretched out to the mile and the 16th last time out and was beaten just by 3/4 of a length.
Yeah, let's go back and show you this horse's performance. Time will tell. We're going to pick it up on the far turn to the wire. This one, continues to look for racing room throughout this race early on in there. And this one is the number 6, Time Will Tell, and just never really gets that clear spot to run. Has to duck to the inside. As this horse turns for home, you will see it in there, and he ducks to the inside. Always looking for racing room in there. And the horse that won this race, as we get here, you'll see it ducking to the inside. The horse that won that race on this day, how do you say it?
Anaximandros.
Anaximandros came back and won again on Sunday, and I couldn't pronounce it on Sunday. Now you see the 6 on the inside going up, and I just thought that was a pretty good performance from Time Will Tell that afternoon. Actually made this horse my best bet on the afternoon. There you see very game fighting to the wire against the number 3 horse who I mentioned came back again and won on Sunday.
Yeah, for all the reasons that you mentioned. I also used the number 1, Here Comes Da Boom, because I think that this horse will be the speed in a race where it looks pretty unclear as to who will go towards the front.
Yeah, he's turned it to the main track. He responded last time out to a drop. I closed it out with, actually put in second, Billion Star. This one, a $750,000 son of Bernardini. I've been trying to wake this horse up. I'm going to give it one more chance. Just bred so beautifully, and I just thought maybe this one will run well in there. Let's go to race number 4 this afternoon. This one, 1 mile on the turf allowance, optional claimer. These are state-bred fillies and mares, 3 and up, or they run for that optional claiming price of $12,500. And you went, we got our exacta flip-flop. You went with the 8 Summers Back.
Well, this horse is looking for the 4th win in a row, and I know that that's a big asking, but just looking at the work tab for this horse, cutting back a little bit in distance to the mile, where she does have a win as well. Her last 2 wins were at a mile and a 16th. She's 7 out of 12 in the money at this mile distance, and again, just a really impressive work tab. Leonel Reyes in the saddle once again.
Yeah, I mean, she's never been better. It's as simple as that. She's in great form, and that is number 8 Summers Back. But number 3, Determined Lady, faces state-bred 12-5 optional claimers. She notched her second turf victory in her last 3 starts when circling 3 wide in that race to defeat $50,000 optional claimers last time out. It's a daughter of big drama. Has improved since the addition of Lasix 3 starts back.
Really improved, and she's getting some class relief today, which I think that she'll be spotted really well to put up a big performance here today. And then we both close it out with the 2 Wildcat Kelly, who's going to try winners for the first time, a $190,000 3-year-old filly by Wildcat Air.
Yeah, she shipped him from Tampa into the Marty Wolfson barn and defeated maiden special 8 runners. That's going 5/8 of a mile. So 3-year-old daughter of Wildcat Air, certainly bred to respond favorably to this added real estate. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to show you our Rainbow 6 tickets. So we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I'm Acacia Courtney, and I want to tell you about a fun contest that we have going on. It's called Beat the Expert. Every Friday, if you're able to pick more winners than me or my co-host Ron Nicoletti, then you will have the chance to win a free polo shirt that says that you beat the expert. Go to facebook.com/GulfstreamPark to enter and use hashtag Beat the Expert to let us know that you're playing. Bring it on.
Yeah, don't forget to try and beat the expert tomorrow, Friday. You can get your selections in starting today, in case your selections are already up.
My selections are already in, so you have up until we go to the post tomorrow. So a little bit of time, but might want to get on that today.
Yeah, it's a fun game to play. You try and beat Acacia, and it's really fun. Just pick the more winners than her, and you got a chance to get that cool polo shirt.
Cool polo shirt plus the bragging rights.
And
That's
as
the
we
part.
mentioned, mandatory payout today in the Rainbow Six. So we both put tickets together, and we'll show you our dueling tickets, we'll say. We agree in some of them here. And firstly, in the first leg, go through yours first, Acacia.
All right, well, I started out with 3 deep in the first leg to get it off the ground. This is a pretty wide open maiden claiming in my mind. The way that I looked at this race, this race sequence, I kind of put it like a pyramid. I thought that the middle was the toughest. You see, I actually went 5 deep in race number 8. I really thought about singling in race number 9. In fact, I did single the 2 Flash Jack, and then with some scratches in the way some of the races changed, I decided to add one more Twinkling Time on there in race number 9. But if you can find a single, in my mind, that was where it would probably be. And I looked for race 10. Again, with scratches, we had to go a little bit deeper there. So $72 for me. You can go a little bit more because everything must go.
Yeah, and you see mine, $64.80. At the same thing, I could not find a single in here. I tried to, almost singled the 1 horse in race number 7, but did not. 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, and then 3 for $64.80. And then now we'll take a look at these races here. Who'd you have on top in the first leg of the Rainbow Six with the mandatory payout?
I went with number 3, Ginger Rush, one of 2 from the Ralph Nix barn in this race, coming back over to the main track after a few turf races. And this is the only one. She's a 4-year-old filly. The rest in the field are 3-year-olds, and I really think that she'll be one of the main speed horses in here.
Yeah, and I mean, Ginger Rush beaten, like you said, only 3/4 of a length against maiden special weight competition. That was her last on the main track, January 8th. And then going back to the dirt, at first start, she surrendered that lead, going 7.5 furlongs. What was that, May 15th? So Ralph Nix, he's pretty solid with the horses going back and forth from turf to dirt. And Spitestown, the sire.
Yes, Spitestown is the sire. We'll give you a sire stat with 3-year-olds and up in dirt sprint. So he has a very big sample size, 2,773 full races, but 562 winners. That's about a 20% win average, which is really strong. Again, that's 3-year-olds and up with sprinting on the dirt. So pretty strong there. Multiple stakes winner, Dam, as well, the Delaware Township mare. So I thought this horse is bred well, and also dropping from maiden special weight into maiden claiming.
Well, you can't say we don't give you huge sample sizes
Yeah,
here.
there you go.
2,700, horses that have started already. I went with the number 2, Pat's Courage, on my ticket too, and so did you. We used this one on our Rainbow Six tickets. Outfitted with blinkers today after Rallington finished. I thought a promising third in her 6-furlong career debut. That was against maiden special weight competition, and I think the drop to the $50,000 levels, sort of a lateral move, but I think that should improve her chances today.
I think so too. She finished 3rd in her debut, but beaten about 9 1/4 lengths that day. I thought it was a beneficial debut, a learning experience as well. As you mentioned, adding blinkers. Kathleen O'Connell, the trainer, Eddie Castro in the saddle.
Yeah, you closed it out with the number 5 horse in here.
This is the other one from the Ralph Nix barn, and I'm really intrigued by this horse, coming off of about a 4-month layoff and running for Ralph Nix for the first time. Didn't show too much in her debut, but I think that was against some stronger competition during the championship meet back in February. She's been working really nicely for her return.
Well, number seven in here in Dominus, I like it, stretching out to 6 furlongs on the dirt after tracking the pace. Weekly, that was in her 5-furlong career debut on the grass. I look for this horse to be part of the pace when breaking from that outside post today. I think she's going to be on the engineer. And I had to throw on the ticket. I believe she's 10-1 in the morning line. And it basically was a speed play. I think if she can get loose on the front end, stretching out from 5 to 6, maybe she can grab a chair. We have 2 of the 3 in agreement on the first leg of the pick 5. The Rainbow Six. We're going to get to the pick 5 in just a moment, which is also mandatory payout. Race number 6, 5 furlongs on the turf. Maiden claim is 3 and up. $12,500. Jockey on the 4 is Eddie Castro. Scratch the number 8 Caribou Cat, which was my top selection. Let's show your pick 5 ticket now.
Yep, give you a quick peek at my ticket. Starts right here. Races 6 through 10, $48 once again. That seems to be my theme today. Once again, wasn't able to find a single, but again, that race 8 was the toughest one for me. I went 4 deep here in the pick 5. It's a 50-cent wager. So if you can find a single, again, you have both the Rainbow Six or the Pick 5 to try it out.
Yeah, if you get knocked out in the first leg with our 2 or 3, you go right back into it, and you get the mandatory payout here in the late Pick 5. And I used the number 7, no hit, no run on top of my ticket. Not originally, because I had the 8 Caribou Cat on top of my ticket. And I just thought this one is getting some class relief after responding in its first ever outing on the turf. I thought a decent 4-wide third place finish against Similar. That was his recent race at the $20,000 level.
I agree. I had Caribou Cat on the top, and if you look back at the most recent race, the 5 furlongs on the turf, Caribou Cat and no hit, no run finished within about half a length of each other. So I thought if you like one, you kind of have to like the other. With the scratch of the number 8, I went into the number 7 as well. Stumbled at the start in his first return after about an 18-month layoff. Switched over to the turf and finished 3rd there. So a little bit of guesswork in this race, but I think one to beat on paper.
Well, we both used the number 4 Zukov in second, and this one's hoping to make amends today and counted some traffic in the stretch. We're going to show you that performance through the stretch round last time out when finishing 3rd. We're going to go to this replay. And this horse just really never was the favorite that afternoon, was the tepid choice, but really never found a place to run in this particular race, especially during the stretch run. She lacked room. She tried to get through on the inside. You'll see things just keep closing up on her, and finally, can't go there. She's got to go try and go this way. And, she's in a logical spot this afternoon. And now once she breaks free, you'll see she starts, once she gets a spot where she can run, she tries and close and be part of it. And I think with a clean trip, she's right there at the wire. Or he's right there at the wire.
I agree. I think it's one that you have to use. 0 for 17 so far. So it was hard for me to be able to put this one on top. But as you said, based off that performance, and Eddie Castro will be in the saddle, so I expect some improvement.
You close it out with the number 2 horse in here, and that's Pioneer Pete.
Well, this one is a bit of a guess for me. I almost used the number 6 Tuvian, but I wasn't enamored by the past couple performances for this one. Pioneer Pete is coming off of about a year layoff, but had been running against tougher prior to that. Added blinkers before that year layoff, but I look for this one to be one that will chase the pace. Yeah,
Tuvian turning back to 5 furlongs, racing without the blinkers, went upset that pressured pace last time out. Weakened in the stretch, finished 5th that day, got beaten like a double-digit lengths, about 10 lengths against Similar going a mile. One of the horses I added to my ticket, not one of my original selections, of course, because of the scratch of the 8 Caribou Cat, but we'll see how this goes. I did use all 3 on my Rainbow Six ticket.
Yeah, that's one of the beauties of the multi-race wagering is you can go a little bit deeper.
Well, let's go to race number 7 this afternoon, and this one is 6.5 furlongs. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 in life or 3-year-olds. $30,000 down to $25,000. Jockey on the 2 is Rafael Hernandez. And number 1, R. Kinsey Dahl, was thinking maybe about singling this horse, but I just couldn't do it because I liked a couple other horses in here. Not the one that you had on top, but I want to hear about the number 5, and that's Yes, You, Ms. Ada.
Yes, Miss Ada. Something like that. Yeah. Yes, Miss Ada. Broke her maiden last time out. That was a 5.5 length victory, but it was on the turf. She's coming right back over to the main track. She's never run a bad race on the dirt. She had 3 dirt starts, a 2nd and 2/3 from the Kathleen O'Connell barn. And I have a little bit of a question mark why she switched over to the dirt and she won the turf, won so impressively there, and now is coming back over to the dirt. But I have trust in the connection, so that's a little bit of guesswork to me. But I wasn't enamored with the other options that I had in this race. As you said, I think that the 7 did not mean it is going to be the big favorite, but might be a vulnerable one. Emisel Jaramillo aboard the 5, and I decided to take a little bit of a gamble.
No, what I was going to say, it's a really nice price, for Emisel Jaramillo. It looks like he's going to close out one of our meets end today. That's why we have all these mandatory payouts. He'll be the leader of our last meet going in, so he's been riding in great form. Let me tell you about the 1, R. Kinsey Dahl, where I almost thought about singling it, but was not that brave. This one now in the Ralph Zadie barn. It's a daughter of big drama. Drops to the $30,000 level. First start since tracking the pace, finishing 4th. That was a $75,000 optional claimer going 3/4 of a mile. It was on April 22nd. The new connection's readied her for this assignment with a really nice half-mile bullet workout at Gulfstream Park West. Coming off the layoff, dropping to a better spot, working well. I thought this was a lot logical choice. And like I said, had designs of singling this one.
I could totally understand that. She won her debut impressively. What kind of turned me off on this one a little bit is that she hasn't been able to get back to the winner's circle of that kind of form since. I'm certain that the class relief will help here, but as you said, this is a tough race to really narrow in on just one.
Yeah, and you're right about the number 7. Did not mean it looks like certainly the one to beat on paper.
Dropping a little bit into $30,000 claimers. Won by 7 lengths last time out very impressively. Has some early speed, but we'll see if they can repeat that kind of performance.
Yeah, that stretch out today to 6.5 furlongs drew away, but it was on that wet track, listed as good, defeated those optional claimers. Boy, won it by like 7-8 lengths.
Yeah.
It's Larry Pilati, Eddie Castro going for 2 in a row, and going to take all the money in that spot. Let's go to race number 8 this afternoon, and this one is 5 furlongs on the turf. Special weight, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. And as we went on the air, still haven't gotten a scratch of the main track, only number 11. But our track announcer, Pete Aiello, will update you on all that stuff that you need in here. And we both went with the number 6 in here, and that's Anna's Pride.
Well, this one I'm sure will likely be a favorite. Adding blinkers today and switching back over to the turf. I actually want to go back and show a race 2 back, which was the last time that she ran on the turf. She has quite a bit of early speed. She's the number 8 there that day. See, with the white blades and the pink saddle cloth. And it looked like she was going to be able to get home free and be the winner that day. But Wildcat Kelly ended up just surging on, and that's the 3-horse you see. She just came running. I'm not sure if she didn't see her coming or didn't think she was going to come by, or just because it was her first turf start, so she wasn't able to get the win that day. I think maybe the addition of blinkers might help a little bit.
Yeah, I think the addition of blinkers is going to help. Maybe did not see that horse on the outside. I mean, I think that's the logic that they're using here. Pretty good performance on the turf 2 starts back. We both used the number 10 in here, Publicist, and Publicist is debuting on the turf after encountering some trouble at the start, went forth against maiden special weight competition on the main track. I want to show you a stat from trainer Carlo Vaccarezza over the last 5 years with horses going from dirt to turf. All starters, 8 for 45, so really nice 18% win average. 33% in the money, but a $5.25 ROI. That's all starters going dirt to turf over the past 5 years. So I like this horse, and I like that recent workout up there at Palm Meadows.
I agree, and past couple workouts really have been very solid. And trying the turf for the first time, the turf pedigree is a little bit questionable, but I think that there's enough there, and based off of that work performance, and those stats are pretty good too.
Yeah, stats are good, and we both used the number 7, that is Broadway Broad.
Well, this one has 1 start so far, and what I like is that her debut was on the turf already. She debuted in maiden special weight company, been working nicely since then as well, and she actually finished 3rd in that race just behind Anna's Pride.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be shocked at all if number 7, Broadway Broad, won it sitting on that winning performance after you mentioned that track and the pace along the inside. Finished a good 3rd in her career debut. Certainly is expected to show improvement in start number 2, and it might be enough to win that race. Once again, I used all 3 on the ticket there on my Rainbow 6 ticket. Race number 9 this afternoon, 7 furlongs claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up, $6,250, and 8 runners in this field. 2 deep. We both went 2 deep in here with the exact same horses. That's Flash Jack, number 2, and number 3, Twinkling Time.
Well, here's the horse that I almost singled, and that's the number 2, Flash Jack. This one loves this distance, is 7 furlongs. We talk about it sometimes being a little bit of a quirky distance. 2 for 3 starts. 2 of them have been wins. One of them was the most recent start, won by 2 1/4 lengths ahead of Twinkling Time. But in this field, it really seemed to be hard to narrow in on just one the more that I looked at it. Emmy Sale Jaramillo is going to be aboard Flash Jack. It's the 2nd start in the Gilberto Zerpa barn.
Yeah, number 3, Twinkling Time, 2nd to Flash Jack at this distance. That was back on May 20th, stretching out today after coming up empty. Was the favorite at similar. That was going 3/4 of a mile. So it sort of makes number 2, Flash Jack, look a little better at this 7 furlong distance. Now, you closed it out with the inside horse, and that's number 1, Jill's Comprise.
Well, this one's been running in really good form lately. Both of the most recent wins, though, has had 2 in a row. They've been by open lengths, but they've both been on a track with a bit of moisture in it, so that's the question mark. But I felt that this is one you had to throw on the top 3.
Well, number 4, Breach of Duty, a 4-time winner on the dirt, is going back to the main track today, moving to the Luis Luna barn via the $6,250 claim. Showed speed, flattened out, went 6. That was against $10,000 types going 5 furlongs on the turf last time out. Turf to dirt, 4-time winner on the main track. Don't know what this horse is on the morning line. 4-1. It's actually third choice on the line. I thought it'd be a little bit of a long shot in there, but I think we have the right 2 there with the 2 and 3. I mean, you have to go somewhere and take a stab to try and keep your ticket affordable.
I think so too. I agree that those 2 are the top 2 ones. For me, Breach of Duty, it looked like 7 furlongs might just be a little bit too long for this horse, but we'll see how switching back over to the main track does.
Well, our final race on mandatory payout day is race number 10, 5 furlongs, turf, claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 in life, $10,000. A couple of significant scratches in here with the number 8 Revolver Sessions and the number 9 Lady Nura. And please note the jockey change on the 2, make the rider Manuel Rosario. And I had both those horses on my ticket, but I did have the number 8 Revolver Sessions on top. I scratched into the number 3 horse in here. You have the number 6. I want to hear about that.
Well, I agree. I had the number 8 Revolver Sessions on top as well. I went with the number 6 Dreaming of Ava, who's getting a little bit of class relief. Broke her maiden last time finally in start number 9. Won by 2 1/4 lengths after a second place finish at that level too. So she's trying winners for the first time. But the connections have been going really well lately. Angel Rodriguez, the trainer, Matt Rispoli going to be in the saddle once again. And this horse has been pretty strong, if not winning right up there in the action.
And you know, with the scratch of the 8, 9 in there, I think you're going to get a decent price on that number 6 was number 3 Don's Girl, both a horse we both used, rebounded from a poor outing on May 15th with a much improved second place finish at the same level and distance, the daughter of Song and a Prayer, and I think this one is moving in the right direction.
I think so too, sitting on a really good performance I think today. And what I like about this horse is there's some versatility. She can either be the speed or she can rate a little bit, which I think will be really beneficial to her to have that versatile stuff. She was pulled up 2 back and then had that really strong with fast fractions last time out. So we'll see how she does it today.
Number 5, Cowtown Jane, was solid in defeat when she tracked swift early fractions last time out and finished 4th at this level and distance. Jose Pinchin's the trainer. Cornelio Velasquez will be in the saddle. And I'm looking at your 3rd pick of the number 4 Red Hot and Boom, which is also my long shot this afternoon at 15-1. And I was hoping to get at least that. Now with the scratch of the 8, 9, I don't know if we will this afternoon. But you used it on your ticket.
I agree. Well, I've been a fan of this horse for the past couple of starts. Really liked her when she broke her maiden a couple back. She is getting a little bit of class relief here as well. And moving back over to the turf. Her one turf start was not that impressive, but she was bumped at the start. Really had no chance to run at all. So I'm looking to see how she does in the turf debut.
Yeah, and you know, she responded very nicely when they dropped her down, albeit on the dirt. She had that 12-5 maiden win. Then she comes back, runs a decent 4th, you know, against 2 lifetime 12-5 types. Respect the conditioner Monty Thomas, and I had to put a long shot somewhere on the ticket along with a couple of 6 to 7-1 shots. So this one 15-1 on the morning line. We'll see how Red Hot and Boom runs in there. Well, that's how we see the Thursday card. Mandatory payout day, not only in the Rainbow 6, the Super High 5, the Late Pick 5. So going to be a fun day.
Yes, it should. And don't forget to start thinking about tomorrow already, where you can beat the expert. But today, focus on getting that mandatory payout stuff in.
Today you got to beat the Rainbow 6. Tomorrow we got to beat you.
Yeah.
Easy.
Fun never stops.